Hi, everybody. It's Colleen Pearl, the Cool Crone. Thank you for joining me. I have my sister Cleo the Seer, and I have Val from Dragonfly Crystals and Next Level Channeling with me. And we are going to talk about Three Eye Atlas again. So if you're tuning in, I'm pretty sure you want to hear about Three Eye Atlas. So I know there's at least one person out there that does want to hear about this because I see them in the chat. So, listener, you're we love you. You're devoted. We're very happy that you're here. Um, so let's just have everybody say hello and what's going on with you. And Val, how are you? Please let us know how's everything's going.
Oh, I'm fantastic. It's good to be back doing a show after Christmas, the Christmas holidays, and getting back on track. Um, I am actually, I have a Dr. Gale show coming up on Wednesday at 1 o'clock or 1 p.m. Pacific time, that is. At 3 p.m. Is it 3? 4? Whatever it is, Eastern time, do the 3 hours. And then Sisters of the Mystical Tarot. And I also have, everyone, Arthur and Val Zoom Q&A event January 17th. You can sign up for that. I have channeling classes coming up in January. You can sign up for those. And you can go to dragonflycrystals.store to see all the other classes, because there's a lot you can sign up for. Take that one step that you think, oh, I can't do. Oh, I'd be too. Oh, maybe they'll see I can't do anything. You know what? Take the step. Everyone's psychic. Everyone's intuitive. Everyone has all the clairs. Just take the step. So that's my word for 2026. Just step forward and do what you want to bring in. Don't hesitate. Thank you, Colleen.
Amen. That's the thing to do.
Yeah.
And Cleo, how are you? How was your holiday? What's happening?
Well, I'm good, and I got more than a lump of coal this year, so I thought, score, I'm doing good.
Better than last year, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, last year I really scored. I got 2 lumps of coal, but this time I actually got gifts and a lump of coal.
Oh,
And
Very nice.
like going into New Year's, I'm getting really excited about 2026. I think 2026 is going to be monumental. I mean, it's just going to be all the stuff that we've had to deal with in 2025 is going to come to a head in 2026, and you're going to see a whole new world emerging. And then like for shows, somebody who just really wasn't thinking set up a sort of a get together on YouTube, and that's, for me, it starts at noon. Are you kidding me? So if anybody else in the Pacific Northwest feels like tuning into YouTube at noon on New Year's Day,
you'd have to not have so many libations the night before. Oh, never mind. You don't drink.
That's right. That's right. But I do stay up late, and I do enjoy, it's not much partying these days, but
Yeah.
I will be up late, and I don't really noon for me. I've got so many things to do before I come on here that noon is just way too early. So there's a good chance I won't make it. But on the other hand, if I hope I do, but because there's a bunch of people that are supposed to show up,
Yeah.
that some of my favorite people will be there, including, I think, Val's on the
Yes, I
list.
will be there. Yeah.
Oh, was it Colleen that organized this
Oh,
thing?
I'm sorry. Yes, it was your sister.
My guides told me to do it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Well, my guys said no, they didn't. But so it's like 3 o'clock Eastern time,
Yeah.
noon, for everybody that's trying to sleep in on New Year's Day on the West Coast. So anyway, that's about what's going on, and then getting into the new year. That's same old, same old.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you both for letting us know what's going on. I'm trying very hard to plan out first just the month of January. I thought I was going to be planning out stuff for the whole year, but the technology gods would not have it that way, and they are fighting me every step of the way. Every little piece that I'm trying to do, they're saying, no, you can't do that. So it's going to take me a while. I think I got things planned for the first half of January, for 2 weeks of January. That's it. That's all I could get done.
Yeah.
It was really a struggle, but this will pass. This will pass. And Val, I know you've had some technological challenges.
Yes, all day long yesterday and into the night. So I'm right on that page with you that maybe we weren't supposed to be doing anything.
Well, that's what I kept thinking. And yet, the more I kept crawling into my bed, the more I was just, urged to get up again and do some work. So, I got some work done. I got some stuff done.
But, the electronics, there is something sketchy going on, like with our TV. And I'd had a couple screwy things with the computer. And now you guys are talking about the same kind of weird, maybe not the same kind, but the weird electronic things that are going on. I don't know what that's all about. I just chalk it up to the weather because right now it's so cold in Washington State. But,
I do think the weather has something to do with it. But as I said backstage, I think it's all the data centers. I think that they're stealing not just our electricity, but they're stealing the amount of bandwidth that we need to do our stuff.
I think so.
They're just stealing everything.
Something like that.
That's what I think. And I'm probably crazy. I think
I
these
don't know.
things.
I don't know. It could be.
Could be. So 3i Atlas. So there have been some new developments, but it's so kind of hard to keep track of everything because there's so many AI generated channels out there talking about this stuff. I even saw an AI generated channel using George Conway's image, and it was called something like George Conway's Channel was literally the name of the channel. And I know he doesn't have that channel.
Yeah, and I have to say, even Michio Kaku is now being used as a front man, and it's not him talking, and it isn't things he'd say. And I'll tell you how you know. The channel has a whole bunch of different images of Michio Kaku looking like this. He never would make those faces.
I know.
And so the information that is out there is very, very, and by the way, it is against YouTube's policy to use a famous person's image to speak about your whatever spiel you are trying to speak. So I don't know how some of these things are still out there, but you can easily get sucked in and think you're listening to the real thing. Then you go back and you look and you realize, oh my God, it's all AI. You go to Michio Kaku's channel, he has like 12 videos and hasn't posted in 10 years. That kind of tells you something. Yeah.
So where do you hear him for real?
Michio Kaku on
just his channel.
On science shows on TV or wherever, but when he's being interviewed. But he also has his own official YouTube channel. You can hear him there.
Yeah.
But in group discussions, he's usually doing things like that. If he does with college professors, other university, theoretical physicists and whatnot. Yeah, it's a battle now to know what's real and what isn't. Yeah. It's a battle. Because I even sent you a link of one and it's fake. It's AI.
Yeah.
You can't really take anything for granted.
And some of the AI channels do present true information.
Yeah, it's
but
true.
They're presenting it and pretending to be other people, like the Avi Loeb ones where they use his image.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell because the rhythm of speaking isn't quite natural. They don't take breaths. There's never a pause longer than the last pause that he took. So there's
Right.
no that natural inconsistency that humans
Yeah.
make when they speak is just not there. And
Or
also,
that time when you hesitate because you're trying to think. There's
and
none
his
of that.
and his AI image doesn't do that, so they can't put the breaks in there that
Yeah.
he would normally put. So I listen to him because I really like him. I listen to him on news channels. There's a couple of local news channels that
Yeah.
interview him, and that's where I listen to him. But I haven't listened to anything of his.
That's good because don't bother. 'Cause
I just don't. I do go to I hope this is his website. It's I don't know if it's his, but it's called Medium, and it's got articles by him. And so I go there. In fact, I have an article from there that I'm going to be reading from later. But I think, Cleo, you had looked up some stuff about Three Eye Atlas. Do you want to share that with us?
I did look up some stuff because I am less knowledgeable than both of you. But for some reason, you wanted me to be on this show. So
Yeah, we
I
did.
I love Copilot, and I know, I for the most part, things that I have looked up on Copilot gives me more information than if I tried to do like a Google search about it.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and it's usually pretty accurate, but I do go in and try to make sure the accuracy. I'm talking about a lot of times I'm looking up stuff for medical things for a friend of mine,
Mhm.
and it's been really accurate. So I like that. But that's where I got this information, and I did not recheck this thing because I didn't have time. But anyway, it's talking about the comet, and I asked, what is the comet doing right now, or what you're calling the comet? I said Three Eye Atlas. And they said it's getting greener, and it's becoming noticeably greener as it releases gases that fluoresce in the sunlight. And I'm like, fluoresce in the sun? I like just the
Isn't that
sound of that.
flowery that fluoresces?
Exactly. They fluoresce in the
I mean, you
sunlight.
get that kind of image like in oil, that kind of rainbowy.
Well, it's just kind of an
feel like-
iridescent green going on, coming out. Whoops! Just knocked my microphone. Just coming, just coming out of this thing, and I think you guys last time that we did this show, you talked about the colors that were coming off of the comet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things that came up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they were remarking that it had brightened and changed color after it went past the sun, but also that the colors that it was changing to, in particular, it was going blue, which was indicative of extreme heat, like hotter than the sun, because the sun turns orange, red, yellow, white, but the sun doesn't turn blue, and blue is even hotter.
Yes.
So very interesting there. So yeah, color. Yeah.
Well, it also said that the green color is typical of comets, and but because of the Three Eye Atlas is interstellar, they thought it was different. I don't know if that means unusual or, but and we're thinking that that's not really just your run of the mill comet, right?
I am, yeah.
Something else is going on here.
Yeah.
So anyway, I thought that was interesting. It also said that the first ever X-ray images of the comet appear when the X-ray that picture appears when solar wind particles collide with gases in the comet's coma.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's when they appear. I don't understand what I'm saying, but that's what that's the information
I'm with
I
you.
got.
A lot of the stuff that I read, I don't
That's
understand
just
it
so
quite, but
mind-boggling. It actually X-rays. You can see it like an X-ray. I mean, is
That's
that
what
what
they're
they're
saying.
actually saying?
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, that's just cool.
isn't that
yeah,
wild?
isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I haven't seen any of those pictures, but I would love to.
Well, and you know how all these pictures are. The guys are just going bananas about these pictures, and then you look at them, and it's like a little green blob.
That's it. That's why I
black. Like,
exactly.
Okay, I don't know what they're smoking, but I want some because I'm not.
But
I'm not quite seeing
I
what
guess
they're seeing.
if you look at them enough, you are close enough to it. I mean, obviously they're right there taking the images and they have them in front of it. They can see the better detail.
Yes.
And yeah, that's pretty amazing, actually. Yeah. But it's hard to get excited when of the pictures that we have seen.
Yeah. Anything else, Cleo? Is that it?
I did want to respond real quick to Annie's gifts on here because I tried to respond to her about the cold and stuff. And she said that they had 13 inches of snow and it's only warmed up to 23 degrees. Thank God I'm not where you're at. I mean, it was 29 degrees this morning and we had a little dusting of snow yesterday. So a lot of things are frozen, but I don't even think we had an inch. So my heart goes out to you, Annie's gifts. The other thing I found in here was the strange jet behavior. There's a bunch of jets coming off of this thing. Now, I don't know, do comets generally have that too? No.
Like that.
You say no?
I think sometimes they do, but it's kind of an explosion and result of gas being released, of chemical reactions basically happening as it moves, which I think, I don't know what is making the chemical reactions. I don't know if it's temperature or friction, or I don't know what it is, but that's usually when you see that happening on comets. This is not that. The jets coming out are, I'll read you what Avi Loeb has to say about that later, but it's anomalous. It's not usual comet behavior.
Oh, and by the way, for Annie's gifts, she said she had 13 degrees, not 13 inches of snow.
Yeah.
Sorry, made a little mistake there, but still, when it gets too cold like this, I don't care for it. So yeah, I am totally bundled up. Okay, so that weird jet behavior, and they said it's called a rare anti-trail. Yeah, an anti-trail. Don't know what that means, but they do.
Yeah.
And that the wobbling jets there's wobbling jets coming off of this thing that pulse with like the rhythm of a clock. So I mean, it's a steady little thing going on. So again, that's what makes everybody start thinking there's something more to this than just a conglomeration of rock and comet material floating through the sky. Well, jetting through the sky.
Yeah. Much more mechanical feeling, Yeah. So.
And that they have detected a bunch of different rare metals within this. How they do that at this distance, who knows? And that's reacting in different ways that shows that it's not affected so much by a gravitational pull. So, and I think we talked about this before where it was just, I think Val brought it up, where it was just going in one direction, then all of a sudden, bingo, it like takes a right or takes a left.
Exactly.
Or, it does
and
something.
They were saying there's no solar winds that would push it like that. So they're saying that's off the table. So it literally had to
make a turn.
Yes, it had to make a turn.
It makes you think somebody is in control of that. Some kind of an entity that's not
like a drone or something's
controlling it, because most comets don't go zip. Oh, wait a minute, I'm going to take a left here, or I'm going to zoom, go off in another direction.
And let me throw one more thing out that has really been glossed over in all of our shows. The interstellar object known as 3I Atlas is actually moving, although it is moving along the ecliptic that our other planets are around the sun. It's moving in the opposite direction on that.
Oh, wow. That's significant and very weird.
Okay.
How is that even possible? That's like going against the
whole thing. And so all along they've been kind of wondering, is it going to get sucked into the gravitational pull of the sun or one of the larger planets? Now, when it gets close to Jupiter, they're really looking, they're very curious to see if anything will get pulled in, that Jupiter will pull it in, because Jupiter is the biggest in our Milky Way. So they're really like, whoa, what's it going to do when it gets close to Jupiter? But no,
we'll
it's
just put on the jets again and jet out of there.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe.
That's what those jets are for. I don't know. Cuckoo bananas here.
But it does say that it's moving out of our solar system. So,
well, yeah, because it's going, because as you go away from the sun, you get those other planets, Jupiter being a very far-flung planet from us, but then there's Saturn, and then there's Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto, and then it'll be gone. But so
they're considering it totally gone from our area by January 8th or something like that. So
gone from Earth, but it'll be heading to Jupiter, so it'll still be in places where we can possibly take photographs of it.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is what I'm very excited about. I don't know why. I mean, the photographs don't really mean anything, but I'm just so fascinated by it.
Wouldn't it be weird if it just went by some of these planets and then all of a sudden just like got sucked into it and disappeared?
Well, that just would be a downer.
I'll leave it to me to figure a downer out about the three-eye atlas. I mean,
that would be the end to it. That would be an anticlimactic.
Yeah. Or if it just got too near Saturn's rings and it just explodes.
Crazy. And you know how we were saying that, or I was saying that perhaps because it's been moving for so long through space, perhaps it is some kind of a built object or ship, and all this stuff on the outside that we see is just accumulation of space dust and ice that has just clung to it.
Yeah.
This is what NASA's starting to say.
Really?
Yeah.
Because, that's exactly what I thought too. Was that, it's been traveling for, what did you say, 8,000 years or something?
Well, they estimated that 8,000 years it probably started out on its trek, but now they're saying that they don't really know. I mean, it could have been coming for millennia. Who knows? They don't know. They don't know really what star system it really came from. So they don't know. They don't know. They really don't know. So,
but it does feel like that it's something that started out one way and now has just grown to a monstrous size thing. Collecting what you talked about, dust and metals and rock and all the stuff that's out there in space. So
because NASA has released, I think yesterday they released a video, or maybe a series of videos, and they're showing a moment where all the scientists, like they have like that Houston, we got a problem moment, where all the scientists are being real quiet for a minute, and you could hear a pin drop, and they're all thinking the same thing. This could be technological, not natural. Not just a piece of a planet, not just a like half a planet that broke off and just started flying through the universe. They started thinking this thing is technology.
Yeah.
And part of what caused them to think that is the rotation of it, that it's rotating as it goes forward. It's going like this.
Yes, it is. It's
going forward, or rather backward, as far as orbits go. And it's not orbiting because it's not in anybody's gravitational pull. And there's a bunch of other stuff that they're saying. But I mean, I think in general, NASA is just like, they have egg on their face, because all of these amateur astronomers and people like, who's the guy, Val, that you watch?
Michio Kaku, theoretical physicist.
And Loeb, and a couple of other people that are really talking about this stuff Oh, speaking of AI fakes, I love the channel where it looks like Joe Rogan, and it looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
Joe Rogan is
Yeah.
talking so intelligently about Three-Eye Atlas and all of these
Yeah.
astronomical and
Yeah.
scientific measurements and the elements and all this stuff. It's just it's hilarious. It's hilarious. And it gives a lot of information, I must say. But anyway, back to NASA. So I think that they just kind of have egg on their face, and I think they're trying to rebrand and save face so that people still realize that they weren't just falling down on the job, and they weren't just hiding things from us. Well, yeah, you were. You were not sharing any of this stuff with us.
They were
really
typical shut down and keep us in the dark.
Yeah. And it wasn't like Avi Loeb was stopping his discussions with them. He was still discussing everything with everyone.
He was.
In fact, he put out an article on Medium where he was talking about the new anomalies. He published a new list of anomalies, and he's working with some he said a really gifted graduate student, I believe, who they're going to revise. It says at the end of this article, what does he say? Where it is. Oh yeah. He'll update his rank of Three-Eye Atlas on the Loeb classification scale. He's working with a brilliant PhD student, O.M. Trivedi, to provide a mathematical framework for updating the Loeb scale of interstellar objects over time. So I mean, he's always forward thinking. He's always trying to put the new out there, and so much so that people are a little reluctant to just say, "Oh, he's wrong." His colleagues, in other words, but he put out this article, which I'll read from in a little while, and one of his colleagues wrote him a letter, and I'm just going to put this screen up. Let me just copy. Can I copy this? Can I copy this? Yeah, duplicate. That's what I want. Okay. So I'm going to put this picture up so you can see it. And then I'll read from another screen showing that, because it's funny. The picture's funny. Okay. So that's the picture. Okay. And the guy is saying, let me see if I can make it bigger. There we go. And it says poof, but did you predict what it would look like?
like what's in front of you isn't enough proof. You got
yeah. So he says that in his latest essay, after he published it, he had an exchange with one of his colleagues, an astrophysicist, Professor Josh Wynn from Princeton University, who wrote to him, "I've been following your story and your interpretations with interest and enjoyment, but there's been something bothering me, and I finally feel moved to write to you about it." I'm going to try to keep a straight face as I read this. "To my knowledge, none of the anomalies were predicted, and hence I cannot take seriously the very low probabilities that have been assigned to them. For example, it is interesting that the trajectory is nearly anti-aligned with the ecliptic, but it also would have been interesting if the orbital plane had been aligned perpendicular to exactly 45 degrees from the ecliptic, or aligned with the sun's equatorial plane, or Pluto's orbit, or Halley's comet." Okay, so he goes on and on with these things, and he's saying, the problem is avoided if predictions are made in advance. Can we make definite predictions for the future behavior of the object under the hypothesis that it is technological? Did anyone blah, blah, blah? Okay, so he has a few more things to say, but he feels that in closing, noticing anomalies is obviously important, but without trying to make and test predictions, there is something important missing. Yeah. And Dr. Loeb writes back very gently to him, "A predictable anomaly is an oxymoron, a contradiction in terms. The nature of an anomaly is that it is unexpected, an outlier. Quantum mechanics stemmed from anomalies of classical physics, And even after it was discovered, Albert Einstein insisted that quantum mechanics cannot have spooky action at a distance. When discovering new knowledge, we should not assume that our imagination is good enough to forecast this knowledge. When I started astrophysics 38 years ago, the possible existence of hot Jupiters was definitely not forecasted or included as a target to search for in the folklore of observers. So he goes on, but basically that's his thing, is he's just telling his friend, sorry, but
you can't use the scientific model for an anomaly and look at and measure it and do the predictions and do all of this because it's an anomaly. And that's just the thing. Here's the guy showing him, well, here's 3i Atlas in a jar. Can't you see what it's doing? Oh, but where's the predictive? It's like, that's, you're talking about oil and water.
Yeah.
You can't do that for an anomaly. You have no way to.
Yeah, and I would just tell Josh, hey, Josh, come and subscribe to my channel. I do predictions all the time. You would love it here because we're talking about 3i Atlas and we're saying, hey, we're not scientists, but hey, predictions, we got that covered, babe.
Got the predictions. Got the predictions.
I think that would be a good way to approach that. But so anyway, that's that stuff. And then I'm gonna go to now you guys got to stop me because I don't want to read this whole list because it's just too long, but I do want to read a few things.
Yeah.
So we already talked about the object aligning to the ecliptic that our planets have aligned to, but I did not realize that they are moving. It is moving in retrograde to the other planets.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Did not know that. That's new. That's big to me. And the second thing in his list says the arrival time of 3i Atlas was fine-tuned to bring it to 29 and 54 million kilometers from Mars and Jupiter, respectively, and be unobservable from Earth at perihelion. Interesting. And then he says this is number 3. The forecasted peri-Jove, which instead of perihelion would be close to behind the sun or next to the sun, peri-Jove would be next to Jupiter, just so that everybody knows what we're talking about. The forecasted peri-Jove distance of 3i Atlas during its encounter with Jupiter on March 16th, 2026 is 53.6 million kilometers, close to Jupiter's Hill radius. 53.5 million kilometers. This match includes the non-gravitational acceleration that 3i Atlas displayed near perihelion. So it sped up as it was approaching the sun. Don't know why. Then it slowed down. The rare coincidence might mean that 3i Atlas intends to release technological devices at Jupiter's Lagrange points, where fuel requirements are minimal. Interesting. Now, a lot of people were saying that they thought it was going to try to go close to one of the moons of Jupiter. I can't remember the name of which one right now, but I think people talked about that early on, that that's where it would go. No, it seems to be on target to go closer to Jupiter itself. So anyway, now this one, I really do not understand what I'm reading here. This is the analysis of and the reason that NASA was talking about all of this stuff is because they finally are releasing and looking at images from the Hubble Space Telescope. Big deal. Okay, suggests that. So analysis of the Hubble Space Telescope image from July 21st, 2025 suggests that the antitail, that's the thing going in front of it as it moves forward, before perihelion must have been in the form of a tightly collimated jet that is about 10 times longer than it is wide. So this thing that they're saying is the antitail is actually another jet. That's what they think. This is similar to the tight collimation observed in the latest post-perihelion images. So after perihelion, there was this whole thing of all of these little jets like chaperones, like just escorting it through the ecliptic. It is difficult to understand how the sublimation of pockets of ice as a result of illumination by sunlight would lead to tightly collimated jets out to millions of kilometers. No known comet exhibited a physical sunward jet of this length. For a technological object, a beam of particles might be used to mitigate the risk from the solar wind that would otherwise impact its surface at a relative speed of order 500 kilometers per second and release 100,000 times more energy per unit mass than explosives. So
Wow.
the last half of that last sentence is about the only thing I really understood in that paragraph. So I apologize to everybody. Don't ask me to explain this stuff. But what it is releasing is so powerful. And why? Why at that moment is it releasing it? Unless it's technology. But, that's me. I'm not using the scientific method. I'm just kind of going with my gut here. This next one talks about the rotation of the object. So that's one of the things. The observed wobble of the pre-perihelion jet in the direction of the sun requires the base of the jet to be within 8 degrees from the sun-facing pole. This is a probability of 0.5%. So this is not a natural phenomenon that's happening here. This is not being caused by anything in its travels. The existence of a prominent jet towards the sun on the way of 3I Atlas out of the solar system requires a similar coincidence near the opposite pole of the rotation axis. The fact that a tightly collimated jet appears as the sunward antitail both before and after perihelion, while reversing direction at perihelion relative to the direction of motion, I don't really understand what that is either, has a tiny probability of occurring at random, equal to the square of 0.5%. That's so infinitesimal. It's just crazy. There's just, a lot more of this stuff, but gravitational deflection. Then we get into composition anomalies. I already mentioned some of these in earlier videos. The 4% water. The nucleus is much more massive than Oumuamua and Borisov while moving faster. I mean, just all this stuff. It's brighter. Anyway, so all of that stuff coming up. So I'll unshare this now. It's just, incredible how many things do not line up with comet behavior. And I'm sorry, Josh, that nobody predicted it. I feel so bad for you. But again, subscribe to my channel. I'll give you all the predictions that you want. Josh, I love you. Happy Hanukkah. Okay. All right. So that's what we have to say there. And hey, kudos for PhD student O.M. Trivedi getting to work with Avi Loeb on this. That's just great. And I'm sure a big boon to his future career. And the last thing that I'll leave you with is Avi Loeb's New Year's resolution. He says, irrespective of the true nature of 3I Atlas, my New Year's resolution is simple. Starting on the early morning of December 19th, 2025, I will keep looking up in the direction of 3I Atlas during my future daily jogs before sunrise. Gotta love it. It's going to keep up doing his thing. So here he is, my hero, Avi Loeb. I will just
without him, we really wouldn't have paid attention to Oumuamua.
No.
And that was definitely an anomaly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the stuff that he is bringing to us is just incredible. I think it's this one. Yeah. I'm just going to pop his picture up here. Here is my boyfriend, not my boyfriend, my hero, Avi Loeb.
I mean, it's amazing. And even not that it's 3I Atlas, but it just shows the metal balls that he got from the ocean floor. And he's done a lot of work on that they aren't of Earth origin and all of this stuff. You may or may not have heard about those, but he has talked about it. It's pretty interesting that he looks into all of these things that other scientists have poo-pooed or not paid any attention to.
Well, they just get blinders on them. They just get so focused in one direction that they blot out the rest of the world. He's very holistic in his approach.
He is.
You know. So Cleo, I'm sorry. Did I cut you off there? Were you going to say something?
No, I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
I'm trying to digest even a tiny bit of what
right?
you've been talking about.
Yeah,
You know,
same. Just crazy.
I just have to say, Avi Loeb is able to skirt that scientific community and stay in good graces while still stretching the envelope, which is pretty important right now, to be able to stay in that grace and yet be able to talk about these things that stretch the idea of what is theoretical physics as we know it today.
Yes.
And
Yeah. And he is, the thing too that I think is so important about all of this is that, you know, as soon as they built the is it the Haloid Collider?
the Hadrian
Collider.
Yeah.
You know, that at that moment that came on the scene and people started talking about it, they were talking about quantum physics.
Yeah.
When was that introduced?
Gosh,
It's been a while.
it's been a while. I gotta Google it.
Yeah, I'm Googling it now.
Okay, good.
But that's just an amazing
It's
experimental
CERN,
thing,
CERN.
you know?
Yeah.
It's just so cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. They're doing some amazing work with splitting the atom and all of that stuff.
Well, this
black holes.
The Higgs boson, which is something I guess that they discovered in 2012, explaining how other particles get mass.
Yeah.
So was that discovered there? I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was all in CERN, Switzerland.
Hadron. Oh, that's where I got that word. This video gives a tour inside the Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The collider, those are all parts of the things that they're doing, the machinery.
Yeah. So 2012, if you all recall, that's when everybody was all across the world worried about the end of the Mayan calendar, right?
Yeah.
And at that time, these people were working on this thing, literally touching physically quantum physics or the quantum field.
Yes.
And that's when I think a lot of people started to experience different ascension symptoms.
Yeah.
In 2016, I think that's the year that I went to Ecuador. That's when I was introduced to that concept. And that, to me, just like exploded my brain with, well, I mean, 20 years before that, the mushrooms exploded my brain, but you know, the real explosion of the brain, understanding what had exploded, was in 2016. And I think since this thing was opened up, I think this is how humanity has begun to coalesce the concepts of quantum physics and spirituality and regular physics. Because I do think they're non-different. I think they're all of a piece.
It's all connected. That's for sure. And Amanda Carroll's saying, I've heard some concerns about CERN. Well, there's always concerns, and they're saying they think that's part of what's split all the timelines, and it's done all these. There's all this talk about what they think it has done, or it's fractured the earth, and that's why we're having so many earthquakes. You can blame anything on anything. We don't really know. But think of it this way. If it's here, it's here to teach us something, because then we create the earth for this earth school to experience things.
Mm-hmm.
When we leave this vehicle, we're still good. We're in our energy farm. Yeah. So this is an experimental situation that we're doing here. So whatever CERN is, we're just experiencing that experiment.
And we are an experiment ourselves.
We are.
I believe of the galactics. And I think that, honestly, that is what I think Three Eye Atlas is really all about. I think they're coming to check up on their experiment. I
They
think
probably
they
are.
started out so long ago, and I think they all were just, long spiny fingers crossed. Hope those guys are ready for us,
Exactly.
because we are not quite, but sort of we are ready for it. Um, but I think that I'm certainly probably one of the last to the party of enlightened souls that are thinking that this stuff is all of a piece, that it's all together, right? I
Yeah.
certainly didn't come on this first or anything. I'm not saying that, but the concept of quantum physics or the quantum field is just so important.
It
And
is. And I think that's everything they're talking about. Everything they're doing at CERN
yeah,
relates to the quantum field, relates to the infinite possibilities of the universe, even though we don't have language for it. It
yeah,
all meets up and meshes together. To have them at CERN try and create an understanding. We already see it's happening. They try and get to the bridge of the mechanics of it, and they're probably in the kindergarten phase.
yeah, and the documentation of it so that others can learn about it.
Exactly.
Because it's great for one person. It's like, well, I'll use psychedelics as an example, or plant medicine. It's great for one person to have their brain opened up, but when you can explain it to other people or lead them to the same
Exactly.
revelation, that's the miracle.
That's it.
When you can
And that,
really help somebody else come to that, that's the miracle.
I think
And
that's a miracle. Yeah.
and I think Three Eye Atlas is a miracle in that way, that it is bringing everybody on the planet's focus to it. It's not really bringing everybody all together, but it certainly is focusing our attention.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is very, very important. For some reason, I think that's really important.
It's very important because it's something out of the ordinary, something that isn't normal as we know it, normal physics. It isn't behaving in the normal way that we
and it's not mundane. It's not physics. It's not somebody's having a baby. It's not, I got a new job. It's not, oh, what's that wart on my wrist?
Celestial body. It's in the realm of, it's out of our galaxy. It came in. It's an interstellar object. That's pretty wild.
Yeah. And another piece of this is everybody waking up to their connection to the stars.
Yes.
Star people and galactics and rainbow children, the crystal children, the indigo children, all of this stuff is the same connection. It's the same thing.
It is. It is.
I love that phrase. It's just non-different. We are non-different. We are not different than people who, or types of life forms that are different from us. We are not really that different from them.
No.
We're all life forms.
We all came from the same place.
We did. We did. We all came from the same place. And that place, if you believe in something like a higher power, is capable of creating so many different types of life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why, there have to be other universes and other, I mean, it's an endless, I think of nesting cups and those Russian dolls. I mean,
I think of molecules in cells.
It's just endless. We're just in our own little world here.
Sure.
So
it does.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And creation always expands. Creation always expands. And it always creates. And so it's not going to stop with just, we have this. No. It's more and more and more and more. So,
and what's the thing that the physicists always say too? Is it energy that's never destroyed, or
energy is never destroyed.
Energy is never destroyed. It just goes into a different form.
Correct. That is what they say, and they're absolutely right about that. That's why, when you're clearing your energy field after you've done energy work, you're just sending that energy back, either back to the people who you were working with or back to source. You're not dissolving it. You're not, whatever. You're just sending it back. You're allowing it to go forth. Because energy doesn't, it doesn't degrade. I mean, in that way, it doesn't shift and change. It just continues to evolve.
Yeah. That's one thing that the people that I went to go work with in Ecuador, that's one thing that kind of turned me off about them. They had this thing where we could send energy we wanted to release, like trauma or negative energy or whatever. We could send it to them in a certain, I don't know how they did this, but in a certain way. And they would put that energy, they had different large crystals that they would sort of shepherd that energy and confine it and send it back to the earth. But then when we were there, they told us that the earth was getting overloaded with that energy and it couldn't take it anymore. And we had to do something else with it. And I was like, no.
First of all, Mother Earth as a sentient being, no, she isn't hurt. She's not angry. She can take, you ground, you connect, you do all these things with Mother Earth. She's your partner. We're here together. We're on this journey together. All those 3D concepts are not actually, they're just things that put fear into you, like you've done a bad thing, or you're a bad girl or a bad boy.
Yeah, it was very 3D to me. I was like, you're the people who taught me about 5D, 9D, 12. You're the guys who taught me about that. How can you say this idiotic thing that you're
I think it's when we don't question some of our beliefs, and we may have 5D, 6D, 11D information. Then we get down to some little point we've been doing for 25 years, and we go, and nobody ever called us on that one thing. Oh, yeah, you're right. That's not expansive. That's still in the 3D realm. And that's where what I do is I question myself as I do some of my routines I've been doing for 20 years. And I go, oh, wait a minute. That doesn't feel right anymore.
Yeah, you do have to do that, because you carry things energetically from your parents, your ancestors, your last job. I mean, you carry those things, and at some point, if it's not serving you, if it's not working for you, you need to be able to let that go.
Yeah.
And grounding it and sending it back to the earth is a very good way to let things go.
It is a good way to let things go. Sure. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
And, some people have actually said, oh, quit grounding into Mother Earth. She can't take it anymore. I mean, like, who says that? Like,
well, these people in Ecuador did. And I kind of went,
our bodies are Mother Earth. I mean, we come from the earth in our vehicles. And so, it is a partnership, and connecting to Mother Earth is normal.
Yeah.
So any of that.
Yeah. And I asked them, well, where else should it go? Well, you pick another planet. I'm like, why? I mean, if Earth's going to get filled up, that one's going to get filled up too. So I don't know. I just thought it was stutid. I just thought
it is. It's one of those pieces. I mean, I'm not throwing the whole baby under, into the bath water or under the bath water, because it could be just one little piece that they haven't updated.
Yeah.
In their perception.
They had a lot of cool other teachings.
Yeah.
Only we had as much reverence for this earth as we claim to have for our adopted belief systems. Well, yeah. I mean,
we have the reverence you have for the earth is the same reverence you should have for yourself and for everything. It not just, I mean, we are divine source, everything, everywhere you look, everything, including the earth, including the birds, including your friends, including your family, and the space everything in space, it's all you. So yeah, that is the same reverence for everything, that appreciation for source energy that flows through everything. That is all that is.
And that's why we all love Val, because she can explain this stuff to us.
Explain it. But I'm just saying, don't put someone on a pedestal. Don't put yourself on a pedestal. We're all equal in that. There's no hierarchy of anything. Don't even get in that concept.
Well, that's an amazing, wonderful message, you know? I mean, because it's so easy.
It is
to go ahead and think about who's better, who's worse, who's more smarter or dumber or whatever.
It's like when you it's like when you call on even Isis or Hathor or one of the goddesses, your or Sekhmet. Think of her as your sister. Think of her as your fellow priestess goddess. Don't put someone on a pedestal because you're in that hierarchical system that we don't have anymore. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about yourself, your friend. And if you start comparing yourself to your friends, just let that flip by, because that's not real. It's not you. The jealousy or envy or any of that stuff, that's just the 3D stuff. And it's not really the real you, the source you.
You can shed that belief.
You really can. You really can. But if it floats up, by you, go, let it flow through and don't attach to it. But anyway, yeah. Thank you, Cleo, for saying that. No, it's important to not put anyone on a pedestal over you, but don't put yourself on a pedestal.
Well, it's important that somebody from outside, like Val, can recognize this stuff and kind of define it and explain it, because I don't really think about it too much, but I do fall into sometimes thinking about, well, if I had known this or that, or if I was in a different place, and you're just basically saying it's the same playing field all the way across.
All the way across. Yeah, exactly.
And it's something that I don't think about often, but it's a nice reminder. So I'm glad you bring that kind of stuff up, Val.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I am too, Val.
Thank you.
I like that we can go to these places and you understand what I'm talking about when I say that the quantum field and regular physics and metaphysics are non-different.
There's no difference. And it is a beautiful thing that our minds can come to that perspective to even have this conversation. That today, the quantum field, who heard about it constantly in the last, I don't know how many years, the last few years, it didn't used to be a big thing. And now you hear it everywhere. It's everywhere.
Well, yeah, and I think the Collider was a big step towards that.
Might have been, yes.
And I think that, people coming together about the end of the Mayan calendar pulled in those people who were going more towards the woo-woo stuff, the metaphysical stuff.
Yeah.
So it brought that moment in the world and on the planet kind of helped those two groups come together, even though they probably didn't know it at the time.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. I think so.
Very, very important.
It is. All of that is important. And even if you think some of those things at CERN are sketchy or dark or whatever.
Oh, look at the nuclear plants that are breaking. Put your energy there.
Yeah, it's like don't even spend time on those kind of things, because you're going to bring into your awareness what you concentrate on. And so what do you really want to concentrate on? All those beautiful things you want to have in your world, have in your life, have in your world, have for everyone around you, have for humanity and a relationship with galactics, whatever we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Consider it we're in a galaxy. We're in the multiverse.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've cured cancer and brought about world peace. So it's probably time to wrap things up, as we do every time.
As we do every time.
We just kind of, bring things together and solve the ills of the world, and then, everybody can feel all warm and fuzzy about the Hadron Collider. Sorry, I keep
Adrian Collider.
saying haloid. Haloid is a whole different thing.
Well, maybe that is the purpose of the 3-Eye Atlas, is to bring on these kinds of conversations to think about.
Probably.
Exactly. I think
Okay.
that's exactly it. Yeah.
I
So
think
so you don't have to be a scientist, to talk about 3-Eye Atlas.
Yeah, for sure.
Just have to be an asshole like me.
But I've always wanted to be a scientist.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
That is good. I have no scientific brain whatsoever.
Me neither.
Way too woo-woo for science, but I appreciate science so much, and I pay attention to it. And, I love theoretical physics, and I love to hear about it, even if I don't understand it.
Well, for many years, I was a lab technician, and I always thought when I was doing that kind of work, I thought in terms of, I'm a scientist.
Yeah, I mean, that is cool. I think so. Yeah.
And I think medicine is another one of those areas that is coming in with this, where we're getting, amazing help from the galactics in all sorts of areas. Yeah. But I think that's another area where we're going to find that it's all of a piece with quantum physics and spirituality and physics. And so I think it's all just coming together.
Well, and the things in medical are so the advancements that they've made, it's been so subtle and a gradual, but now where it's at, it's just like like some of the imagery that they can do now with magnetic imaging and things like that. That is so cool. But they're looking around like, well, no, we've had it for a long time. Yes, we have, but not to the degree that we have it right now, because it just keeps advancing.
Free to the public, not available to the public.
Yeah. Now we're seeing such a ramp up of these medical technologies and things like CRISPR that are going to just explode exponentially as it reveals so many different cures for things, and growing parts and all these different things. We're going to be going into such a huge acceleration of human evolution, and the length of time our lifespan will increase dramatically. I am sure of that.
Yeah, I'm not going to be the only one who lives to 130.
I mean, I keep telling my husband, honey, I need you to have it in your mind. We're going to live till we're like 140.
Yeah.
And he says, well, I better start saving up. I don't know that money will be around by then, but
it might not be.
I don't tell him about that.
Yeah. Just let that come on gradually. You're right. Only baby steps. They can't take it all in. All right, guys. Well, it's been an hour, and I want to thank everybody in the chat for being here. Thank you so much. And this is just fascinating. Fascinating.
Well, and all the people in the chat are just, they're into it too.
Yeah.
I'm watching them over here, and I'm watching you guys talking, and I'm like, wow, there is something happening here. There is a communication. People are thinking about these kinds of things, and that is uplifting, energizing.
Yeah.
It's a good message for the new year. It really is. It's a good message. All right, guys. Well, it is December 28th, and when is it? It's New Year's Day, I think, is the next time that I'm going to be on with you guys and a whole bunch of other crazy people.
Yeah.
On New Year's Day at 3 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to be doing a show with a whole bunch of people. You'll want to tune in and see that. And on Friday, we'll be doing a polyterology with Cleo and Sherry and me. And then on Saturday, my friend Izzy's coming over to help me with my curtains. And I know you were all waiting on that.
I mean,
All wanted to know if she
so
was ever going to
about
come.
it.
Finally,
Well, she was going to
finally.
come earlier, but she had problems with her phone. And I was texting into just cyberspace and she was never getting the messages. So
Oh,
that explains why I never got my gluten-free cookies for the holidays.
there you go.
She's
That's
the
why.
baker who makes them.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
so everybody, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being here. And I don't know if we're going to do more of these or not. If we are, I'll be sure to post. So make sure you're subscribed so you see my notifications about the next show. And we'll just have to figure it out because we just have to see what's going to happen with 3i Atlas. So thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Cleo. Thank you, Val. And I love you both. And I love everybody out there. And thank you for subscribing. And I'll see you around. Bye. Bye, you guys.